In this video, we're going to discuss probability of a simple event. Probability is the likelihood that something will occur, and it can be expressed as a fraction. We can also talk about probability being certain or impossible, likely, unlikely, and so on, depending on the type of problem we're presented with. Let's look at an example. Our example says a bag contains 3 red marbles, 2 blue marbles, and 1 yellow marble. If a marble is taken at random, there are 2 types of problems here. One of them says, which is the least likely color that will be drawn? And then the other one says, number 2 says, what is the probability the marble will be blue? So let's look at number 1, which is the least likely color that will be drawn. So that would be the one that has the fewest number of marbles. So we have 3 red, we have 2 blue, and we have 1 yellow. And so that means the color that will least likely be drawn would be the yellow marble because there are fewer yellow marbles than there are the other 2 colors. So our answer to number 1 would be yellow. And then the second problem says, what is the probability the marble will be blue? And so we want to set this up as a fraction. So we want to write this as a fraction. And in a fraction, we have a numerator and we have a denominator. In a probability fraction, the denominator, or the bottom number, is the total number of possible outcomes. In other words, the total number of marbles that are in this bag. Okay, so that in this case is going to be 6. 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6. The top number is the number of marbles, or the number of items that basically answers the question. That answers the question. And in this case, blue marbles, there are 2 of them. So 2 blue marbles are in the bag. If we had asked about yellow marbles, it would have been 1 up here. If we had asked about red marbles, it would have been 3. So the total number of outcomes is the total number in the bag. So 3 red plus 2 blue plus 1 yellow, that's 6. And then the number that answers the question, what is the probability the marble will be blue, is 2. Now, if you're in a grade where you're asked to simplify fractions, then we would want to simplify this 2/6 to equal 1/3. And we do that by dividing both of these by a common factor. And the greatest common factor is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So your answer, depending on what grade level you are and what's required of you, could be 2/6 or 2 out of 6, or your teacher might require you to answer 1 out of 3 or 1/3. Okay, let's look at another example. This tells us what the total number is. Jack has 13 toy trucks. So we already know that if we do this one as a fraction, we'll do the first one right here, then the denominator is going to be 13. And then it says 5 are blue, 2 are silver, 4 are red, and 2 are yellow. If his brother selects one car at random, what is the probability it will be silver? Okay, so again, the 13 is the total number, and we could go check. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 4 is 11, plus 2 is 13. So there are 13 trucks total. The probability it will be silver, well, there are 2 silver trucks. So the probability here would be 2/13, or 2 out of 13. Now, the next question asks, what is the probability he will select an orange truck? Okay, so we can still say, okay, I know the denominator is 13. How many orange trucks are there? There are no orange trucks. So that would be 0/13, or 0 out of 13, which if you divide 0 by 13, the probability is 0. So if your probability is something that doesn't exist within that problem, then your answer is going to be 0. If we ask something like, what is the probability he will choose a toy truck? Well, that would be a 1, because they're all trucks and there's 13 of them. So that would be 13 divided by 13, which is 1. So certain probability, if it is certainly going to happen, that's always a 1. If it is never going to happen, that would be a 0, or if it is not possible.